Hello, hello, and a warm welcome to our session today. This is our last pre-event before the Foundations course starts tomorrow. We've been feeling the excitement build for this Foundations. It will be a new adventure for all of us, and we cannot wait to experience it with you. Our session today is a Q&A with Asil. Our intention with this session is to make sure that you feel supported, ready, and prepared as you take the next step in your journey into Foundations tomorrow. I hope you have come prepared with your questions. Remember, there's no question too big or too small about this upcoming experience, and we'll all learn from each other. So feel free to start posting your questions in the chat. And now I will hand you over to Asil, who will say a few words before we move into the Q&A. Enjoy, everyone.
Thank you, Crystal. And hello, everyone. It's good to be at this place. We have, through many, many years of trusting and surrendering, arrived at a place where we are consistently receiving a divine support for us to become better humans, for us to become more empowered in our being, for us to resolve some elements of our lives, of our human existence that may be stagnant or maybe locked up or maybe stuck. And this divine support assists us to navigate these parts within our being so that we can establish a new foundation within ourselves, within our lives, so that we can move through life with greater ease and greater grace. Now, for those of you that are in service, that also means the way your service has been delivered or the way your service is emerging or unfolding will start off from a new place of delivery, from a new baseline. What that means is, in my personal experience, is through every upgrade, the delivery of my service has gotten easier, less effort, more impact. And that is a critical piece for anyone that is in service. You want to be able to do what you're doing, your unique gift, with greater ease, with greater sustainability, with less effort, and with greater impact. All of the good things. Now, what happens within this process, and can we truly even fully understand it on a mental level? Maybe not. Maybe we're just humans trying to create explanations to a divine process that is beyond comprehension and to some degree a bit mystical, but also as old as humanity is. Because humanity has received divine support in its history, in its existence, since the beginning of time. And that divine support looked different at different times. This work, the way we are receiving and the way you are receiving this work, is divine support in its very unique flavor. Many that are doing this foundations are individuals that have already done foundations before. The reason they're doing it is because you can consistently set a new baseline in your being. You can consistently establish a new foundation within your being. The journey truly never ends, and it becomes almost easier to establish a new foundation once you have already cleared, once you have created a blank slate within your being. And that could mean mental clearing, mental constructs, deconstructing and reconstructing, new habits forming, new choices making, emotional construct, navigating our own emotional landscape with greater ease and with greater precision. That doesn't mean we become numb to our emotions. It just means our emotions no longer drive our existence. They no longer direct how we walk through life and what we do and what we don't do. Emotional landscape and our emotional spectrum, in fact, becomes even wider and more available to us. I've certainly had the feeling of having greater emotional capacity by doing this work. I've certainly had the feeling of having more of an open heart, of having more compassion and more empathy as a result of this work. Now, of course, with greater sensitivity comes the responsibility to create greater resilience within so that the details and the great level of fine-tuned emotions that we experience in human form don't take us out of our alignment. And this is something that the guides have spoken about many, many times. Alignment is key. If we hold a good alignment, if we hold a solid alignment, then we can walk through life with a greater capacity to navigate the challenges of life. And that's amazing. If we hold a good alignment, then we can serve better humanity, our family, our loved ones, at work, whatever your service looks like, because service, in its definition, can be very diverse. And of course, an element of this work is also our alignment in our physical body. Any type of energy that is stagnant, energy that's not moving, energies that are maybe moving too fast can create an energetic drain or energetic leakage. And if that occurs, also our physical alignment does no longer have the strength to hold us through life as well as through our service. So, physical, emotional, mental, and energetic alignment. And as many of you have gone through level 2, the next level after foundations, you know that is about capacity building. We can't build capacity if we don't have a strong foundation, if we don't have strong roots in our being. If we are easily thrown off by things that happen around us, guess what? You can't build capacity on top of that not existing alignment or a unstable alignment or that easy to fall out of alignment state of being. So in some ways it is a journey of strengthening, is a journey of upgrading, is a journey of empowerment, and therefore a journey of alignment eventually and consistently leading to greater service to humanity, and most importantly, greater service to yourself. I'm super excited about this because this is the first foundations we'll do this year, and every time we do a new foundations, there is a new energy, new delivery, new transmissions, in this case, even brand new meditations that come through. And so far, it's been mind-blowing. So far, it's been amazing, and I can't wait to see how the next 2 weeks will unfold because we start the journey for foundations tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first transmission. I'm excited for that. Well, Crystal, I think we have got some good questions coming through for our session today.
Yes, very exciting. So, Leah says she's new here and she'd like to ask, how do we help Mother Earth? And I'm going to add through foundations.
brilliant question, because it is very common that on the journey of self-realization or on the journey of service, we look at the things outside of us. We look at, okay, people around me are not aligned, the world, society, there's all these different problems that we observe. And what we're experiencing with the earth is another piece of that. Yet the conditions that the earth is currently going through is a result of poor choices that humanity has made. And in some ways, the choices we have made have come from our internal misalignments. So one of the first and most important pieces of serving Earth is we go into a deeper alignment within ourselves. And as we do that, we can start walking away in the path that is in service to the people around us, that is in service to the Earth. More specifically, we have, with the support of the guides, we've developed two distinct pathways. One is Pillar of Light, and the other one is Earth Keepers. And in the Earth Keepers pathway is the work with the energetic grid of the Earth. Now, the energetic grid of the Earth is imagined to be energy lines, nodal points that basically serve consciousness on Earth. All living beings drive energy and drive consciousness from this field that is established. And this field, this energetic grid of the Earth, also has gone through major upgrades and also challenges. It has fallen out of alignment in certain parts. It has been strengthened in other parts. So there is an uneven way of this Earth grid operating. Earthkeeper's pathway is a way of how do we as individuals learn to navigate energetic spaces and fields? How do we learn to deliver attunement and energetic support to different places around the earth, both in person as well as remotely? Now imagine there is hundreds of earth keepers already within this community, and you could be part of that community doing this type of energetic grid work that will allow you to deliver an attunement and also be part of the attunements we do on this Earth energetic grid. That's a powerful path. For some, that is the most important, the most resonant path to take. For others, it is I want to work with humans because that's where I am closest. And those individuals walk the pillars of light path, and many walk both paths, and that's perfectly okay because they're complementary. That they allow us to understand ourselves better and the way how we as humans fit into the Earth's construct, how we as humans navigate the societal construct, how we as humans live on Earth in a benevolent, in a creative, in a generative way. If all humans could go through that process of internal alignment, could go through this process of empowerment and seeing more clearly the impact they have through their choices, how to apply their life force, their will, their willpower, their power, their energetic spiritual gifts, their presence to the earth and to situations around the earth, then humanity can truly turn a corner and develop in this accelerated way and continue to serve as stewards of the earth rather than just consumers of the earth. So, Leah, I think you might be in that department of knowing there is something inside of you calling to serve and support the earth. And for that, foundations will lay the groundwork so that you can do that work with greater ease, with the support of a community, with a structured way of being able to receive and deliver to serve this earth of ours, this mother of ours.
Great, thank you. And we had also, in a weekend, a few weekends ago, we had talked about neutrality, how we are not doing it from this place of extended emotion or extended need to do something, but more delivering from this potent place of neutrality. So I think that's something to note about all of our courses, including the foundations course. Let's see, Lavender Liger. Hopefully, I got your profile name right. Uh, Says in-person events are so much more powerful than anything I've done in Zoom classes. Will Foundation's energy be strong enough to affect us?
Well, that is, of course, for you to be the judge of. But I can tell you from the anecdotes as well as from the experiences of the thousands of people that have gone through remote experiences and sessions, is that these transmissions are life-changing and they truly come through. They operate beyond space and time. So a transmission received wherever you are truly is delivered through a space that is not the Zoom call, but it is from an energetic space that's delivered. Because we establish an energetic container through which every individual that is in this energetic container, no matter where they are on this planet, is affected by the delivery that goes into this container. And in that sense, my experience has been that they are very powerful and they truly deliver, even if it's remotely delivered. Now, of course, in-person sessions are powerful and beautiful. You are in a container with other individuals, like-minded, like-spirited people. We are in the same place. We don't have too many distractions of our daily lives. There is a very strong focus on that type of delivery and that type of work. And for that, we have in-person sessions, of course. And even we are considering that our next foundations will have an in-person component so that those that want to do foundations with an in-person component can also experience that. But so far, I can tell you, and many of those that have gone through our courses can tell you, that sometimes even receiving it in your own place, wherever you are, is as impactful, maybe even more so impactful than being in a room with other individuals. Over this 2-week period, you are in a consistent receiving and restructuring process. It is really a divine technology. It's a delivery that goes beyond just the words and us seeing each other on Zoom or you seeing me on your screen. There is something that happens that is beyond the veil of our perception of reality. And I would invite you to be open to that and trying that and witnessing how it actually can come through to you in both your meditations, in your reflection exercises, in your reception of the transmissions, as well as even in your dreams. So there is a process that I promise you will not disappoint. Yes,
There I am.
Crystal.
Hello. Thank you for that, Asil. And I'm not actually seeing the chat where this is coming from, but maybe some folks who have experienced transmissions and courses, transmission courses specifically, maybe you can share your experience with Ms. Lavender Liger in the chats as well. All right. There is a gentleman asking, can foundations help me become a better channeler myself?
Very good question. Very good question. So basically, what I would say to that is, while this course is not about becoming a channel or doing what Asil does, it is about becoming an even more purified and aligned and empowered vessel. And as a channel, you are already a powerful vessel of divine knowledge, wisdom, energy. Something already comes through you. This work, because it is establishing an internal alignment and a new foundation within your being, will establish a structure that allows the energy to move with greater ease and greater strength and greater clarity through your system. I remember the early days when I started to do this work and it was delivering itself as channeling. It was incredibly difficult. It took sometimes an hour or more to connect to the guides. It took a lot of energy to deliver what they wanted to deliver. It took a lot of energy for my consciousness to return after they had gone. So I was quite drained, and it took me some days to actually return back into my center to be able to be a channel again, to be a vessel again. So I talked a lot about this with our community, and I talked with the guides about it, and I said, guides, this is going to be very difficult. If this is what it takes to deliver this work, it's going to be very challenging for me to do this for the rest of my life. And they said, don't worry, with every piece of work, with every milestone that you reach, with every new station that you establish, it will become easier, more clear, more pure, and easier for you to return and deliver this sustainably. And it's true. They delivered on their promise. It made it much easier. It made it much more comfortable. It made it much more sustainable for me to deliver the transmissions and the channelings that come through. Most importantly, the work no longer feels like it's draining me. It feels like it's actually giving me energy. It feels like I'm uplifted as I'm delivering. And who doesn't want to have that in their service and in their work as a channel? Who doesn't want to have an even more clear and pure channel that comes through without the potential distortions of our own mind or our own unprocessed trauma that may be flavoring the messages or what comes through us? So I can definitely tell you that this transformational process has helped many individuals to become more clear, more aligned, more empowered, more sustainable channels themselves.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Speaking of which, I'm going to pop over to this one question, kind of adds to that. Carolyn is saying, "Hi, Asil. I'm loving all the
Hi,
lead up to
Carolyn.
Mhm. I'm loving all the lead up to our foundations process. And as an observer, I'm cheekily curious to learn what it feels like and how you go about all your raising of consciousness when you go through your bodily process of mudras and movements in your body. I'm interested and curious as you're the only person I know who goes through this process to lift their awareness to access their channel."
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great question, Carolyn. Thank you for posting that. The way I experience it is I'm I'm a very particular type of vessel, and a very particular type of technology works through me. Even though the output looks like, oh, he's channeling, and there is thousands of other channels that do channeling work, the technology through which the guides operate through me is slightly different. And not better or worse in any ways, but it is established in a way where the internal structure that's within me allows me to both receive the energy at great capacity, establish a quiet of my mind, and allow the guides to operate this vessel and deliver that energy and the words of wisdom through this vessel. The mudras are kind of a part of that because through establishing the mudras and through the hand movements that happen, it's almost like certain energy channels will be closed, certain energy channels will be opened, certain antennas will be activated. So there's a particular way of them preparing this human vessel that Asil has. Asil has authority over, so to say. They establish a preparation. They make sure that my mind is quiet. They make sure that my heart is settled. They make sure that my body has enough energy to be able to deliver it in the best possible way. Imagine it like this. Have you ever seen a pilot that, despite the fact that airplanes are checked 100 times by teams and all of that, a pilot that flies a plane always walks around the plane and checks all the details of the plane before they let anyone on the plane and before they fly it? So in some ways, it feels like they're the pilots and they're checking this vessel like all the way through and preparing it so they can deliver through it the best possible experience for all of you. For me personally, it's gotten much easier to get into that state, to go through that checklist that they're doing. And it is not uncomfortable at all. In fact, it is a beautiful experience. The energy that comes through my system is so pure and so clear, and I can feel how my thoughts in my own mind becomes super quiet, and I can feel how my heart becomes very settled. My heart rate even goes down, and I can feel how my body straightens up and aligns. I can feel the energy around me almost becoming like a golden nectar or like a thick honey like consistency. And then when they start to deliver, it feels like the most beautiful, the most reverent thing is coming through, and I get to be a witness to that as it happens through my body. So I feel very blessed about it, and it is still, to me, to this date, is a mystical process beyond comprehension for sure. And you know, we surrender to it and to deliver beautiful things, and we see the incredible impact it has in my life and in the many lives that it has served.
You. Mm, there I am. Thank you. That was an interesting explanation that I haven't heard before. Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff. That's right, Crystal.
Mm, that's great. The guides akin to pilots checking the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We've got Beverly, who clearly has signed up for Foundations already because she's talking about the diet recommendations. She's saying, "Thank you for the information about diet recommendations. I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering if you could explain further about the recommendation to avoid frozen foods. Thank you, good sir, for these powerful classes.
Mm. Well, thank you, Beverly, for participating in it and for wanting to have more clarity and more details about this. The food that we eat, even the food that we get from the store, has lost a significant amount of its nutritional value through transportation, through storage, through the environments that it is in. On top of that, when we receive that food, it may have been taken off the plant for days. It will have lost its life force. On top of that, if we take that food and freeze it, there is also another layer of loss that happens of that life force and of the nutritional value. So frozen foods really should be a matter of absolute need. If I need to eat and there is frozen food available, that's my only choice, then of course, that is your choice and that's what you have. But if you have the option of not eating frozen foods, but eating fresh foods, if you have the option to potentially getting your foods from farmers, if you have the option of choosing from the greens that are feeling alive and fresh versus the greens that don't look and feel alive, then eat the ones that look and feel alive. I can guarantee you there is an effect on the physical body that's beyond just the vitamins and the numbers that are on the label. There is a life force that's in every food. And the more of that life force we get, the more fuel and resources we have internally that can be utilized for our spiritual process. So life force is good. Life force from that life force that goes into our body. It goes into our organs, it goes into our emotional center, our heart, into our brain, it goes into our energetic body. Our presence becomes different. And you may have noticed that when you had periods where had actually access to the most alive foods, your system changes. And ultimately, that's what we want you to have the best possible fuel for your vessel for this process, and hopefully forever.
Thank you. Very good. We have somebody who is a repeater asking a question. Judy says, I'm wondering after taking all courses, if doing foundations again would be recommended given my own personal slow development.
Mm. Well, first of all, if you judge your development to be slow, what are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to other people that have powerful and potent experiences that are going through this? Are you comparing it to some sort of internal personal standard that you need to achieve but you haven't gotten there yet? Or are you comparing it to some sort of expectations you may hold about what a spiritual development should look like and where you should be today versus where you are today? That's one piece. I would look at the personal judgment you may carry. Because I can assure you, if you would compare yourself, the person that you are today, to the person that you were years ago when you started this process, you will notice progress. You will notice a change that has happened, maybe a greater stability, maybe a greater capacity, maybe a greater silence within, maybe an ability to drop into meditations quicker, maybe an ability to navigate challenging environmental circumstances with greater ease. There's many different pointers on how this work can affect us. Would I recommend you do foundations again? Absolutely, for sure. If I wouldn't be delivering it, I would be doing it. And in fact, even when I deliver it, I'm going through foundations myself. And every time it is a mind blower. So in that way, we never cease to learn. We never cease to receive. And foundations in its delivery gets always stronger too. So the field of the community is stronger. You have gotten to a different place than you were before, even if it may not meet your personal expectations. On top of that, this delivery mechanism, this vessel I have prepared for the last year with powerful and intense upgrade processes to deliver a new foundation that is up to the newest, most potent energy that can be delivered in this particular way. So I hope to see you there.
Thank you. I think you touch upon, and Judy touches upon something that maybe we can go a little bit more into, and that's the idea of comparison and the idea of demonstrative results versus subtle results. The
Mhm.
knowing as something comes into your environment, a situation, a challenge that comes into your environment that you now can see from a more centered and grounded perspective, that you can handle in a way that's different, that may not emerge right away at the end of foundations for you to say, oh, this is what foundations did for me, right? Whereas other people, even on the chats, people can get very excited about an experience that they had while in transmission or an immediately applied result to a challenge that they're having, that they're going through right away. So I think it's important for us to understand. I mean, this is me. I'm speaking about me personally, Judy, and all of you. Um, when I say, for me, it's more subtle and as a result, more lasting. But when I started looking for the ways in which this energy had been transferred and how it had been applied, I didn't find as many ways as maybe other people had in that immediate moment. So it unfolds, the journey unfolds, the gifts unfold differently for people. So if you're not one of those people that has these really big experiences during the course, or even big experiences in your journey, it doesn't mean that it's not working. It just means that you haven't had that moment yet. So, anything you want to add to that, Asil, before we move on to, I think, our last question?
Yeah, sure. I feel also like, spiritual development is about finding an internal center, a strong internal alignment, a strong presence and quiet. If we can get to that place much easier, with less effort, more sustainably, more predictably, then we're definitely having progress, right? And from that place, everything else emerges. All the things that we learn about this technique and this type of service and that type of service, it relies on that ability to find that center and that internal alignment. If we don't have it, all the techniques in the world won't support you. That is 0 point. That is the most important place. And even that place moves over time as we develop further and further. So I would say Never give up. Never give up. Always keep going. Even if it doesn't look like it's not going to the way, to the pace, to the speed, to the intensity, to the expectations you have, just continue following that path of being able to get to that 0 point of presence and 0 point of alignment. The stronger that gets, the more power you have in the moment. From that place, your service develops.
All right. Amy Jo Kidd is asking, tell me more about the transmissions and how they are designed to assist. Thank you, Asil. Wonderful to be present with you today.
Sure. So the transmissions are basically an energetic delivery. Of course, they have beautiful words that assist us along the way, but more importantly, in the transmissions, the guides deliver an energetic adjustment to the group and the container of the people going through the foundations. The energetic adjustments are like a blueprint. Imagine it to be like a set of instructions that then receive an energy, and that set of instructions are projected onto everyone in that container. If I receive that set of instructions, it's almost like telling the body to clean up. It's telling the mind to start to rest and clean up any type of mental constructs that are stuck or in a loop. It's telling the heart to recenter, release stagnant emotions, open up emotions that haven't been felt, maybe need to be felt, and expand and open that heart more. It's telling the energetic body to find a stronger alignment where, for example, the energetic body hasn't been fueled enough or the energetic body was out of whack for some reason. So these instructions re-straighten, almost like spiritual chiropractor, right? There is a readjustment that happens, and it happens step by step, and it's at the right pace for every single person that these adjustments deliver. And as these adjustments deliver and deliver and deliver, we start to see shifts that happen on all parts of our being. And we talk about these shifts. We have conversations, we have practices, we have sharing circles, extra practice, and so on. There's many, many ways for us to process what's happening. But really, truly, the magic, in my perspective, is in these energetic adjustments that are being delivered in the transmissions. That is what is sustainably changing us. That is what is sustainably transforming us into our next level of being and service.
These have been amazing questions,
Mm.
all new and very different. So thank you. Thank you for everybody who contributed to this session and everybody who is witnessing this session and supporting one another on the chats. We appreciate you. Thank you, Asil. We hope you all feel ready for this next step in your evolution. Our opening transmission for the course is tomorrow, and you still have time to sign up today. So we'll put the registration links in the chats for you now. For those of you who are repeaters, we remind you that you have a link with your discount code for repeating the course in the numerous emails. And I believe we're also adding there it is, the QR code. So if you want to, if you're new and you want to zap on that QR code, then with your phone, then you will be brought straight to the Foundation's registration page. Thank you again for being with us here today, and we hope to see you tomorrow in the Foundation's container. And thank you to everybody else who has signed up previously and have already started their meditations and are enjoying the first bits of the experience. We shall see you mañana.
Right. It's going to be a special journey. I look forward to seeing all of you there. Much
Yes.
love and see you tomorrow.
Take care, everyone.